1/10 of $1. Don't get hungry, folks. Peanuts, popcorn, and candy here. Sure while you view. Some house, huh, boys?
Before they see SB Force's new Dixie nitroglycerin, they only break down the door. After they see her.
Crowds just like they used to have when this was an opera house, huh, boys?
Grand Opera brought crowds like this into this lobby. Girls. That's what the public wants.
Just standing there a while, so this is you. Please forgive me if I stare a while. It's hard to believe that I could conceive a dream like you. But you're in my arms.
He's out there again.
So I know it must be true. So this is you. And you're everything I hope to be. I never knew that a smile could mean so much to me. The birds on the wing, the first signs of spring, the moon above, all this at last, my love, is yours.
Keep in line there and smile, will you? Smile.
Hi, St. Peter. How goes it?
Lots of mail for you, Mr. Brannigan.
I can't read the first of the month. Hey, Jake, is that new doll from Columbus on yet?
Just a minute, Brannigan. How about that 5 spot you owe me being on?
The 5 spot?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Finn? The Finsky. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You didn't forget anything, did you? Oh, I may forget my lyrics. Oh, you better not. We're not at the Columbus Gaiety, you know. Dixie, your mom. Your mom.
Gigi.
Oh,
Be a good girl, huh?
I'll be rooting for you.
Help you, honey?
I'm warning you, comic.
Yeah, so the copper that gave me this. No romance in those copper soles, Dix. Just because a guy goes through 2 red lights to get
Quiet, Irish. Get upstairs and put your false face on.
Dixie, when I just wanted to wish you luck.
That's okay, comic, but keep it at a distance.
From up above, and this at last, my love, is you.
It's beautiful, Junior, but it's not for me.
Come on and give me heat, 'cause I don't like my music sweet. I want to feel my impulse beat. Take it off the E string, play it on the G string. If this gives you a thrill, it's happening much against my will, and only 'cause I've caught a chill. Take it off the E string, play it on the G string. What goes a lot goes when I do my act. Boys, it's a fact. Whenever I'm applauded, you're rewarded. Each time the drummer jumps, I get goose flesh big as lumps. I start breaking out in bumps. Brother, I'm making my eggs and bacon, earning my pay, just by shaking this way, 4 shows a day. Time was when crime was if you stole some dough. Now that ain't so, 'cause if you lack attire, it's the Black Mariah.
Lady Godiva.
I know what you're waiting for.
Been waiting a week.
And I've a mind to do some more.
I'll stick around.
But I don't want to break the law. 'Cause listen, brother, I've got a mother, old and
Bet she's a Lulu.
I support her this way. 4 shows a day.
How about a little supper after the show tonight?
The only date I make with comics is with the Sunday funnies.
That'll be all right with me. Sunday morning breakfast.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Hey, you forgot to take your hand out of that one.
You laid him in the aisle.
They'll never let her off that stage.
Gee, you work fast.
Nothing to it, Mandy.
Butterflies are usually hard to catch.
Not when you've had practice.
Boy, you sure have practice. Pretty soon there won't be no more room.
For her, they can all move over. Mandy, here's some glitter to start your collection.
Gee, thanks, Biff.
You better tell him what that glitter is.
As though I don't know. Of course I know. They wear it around the waist and they have to, well, they use it. Oh, you make me so mad.
Boom, boom.
Won't be easy to follow you, Dixie. Thanks, darling.
Makes me want to leave the wife, Dixie.
Don't do that, Hank. Just send her around for a couple lessons. That worm's lucky he did run away. Wait till I slap his face in the pickle persuader. They'll find his jaw on Staten Island. Yeah?
What?
What did I tell you? With diamonds in your hair. And S.B. Force personally grooming you for stardom.
No, thanks to your first comic. Oh, Fossey, are they all alike? Don't you ever make a new one?
Not with comics, only with girls. And only S.B. Force can do anything new with them.
And I guess it's up to me. And I'm just the gal to enjoy the job. You really gave them their money's worth. Nice going, Dixie.
No, the next show, the Yale Bow. I could go home dreaming, Dixie.
Gee, if I could please the customers like that, I'd be the happiest girl in the world.
That's what keeps me young and beautiful, Alice.
Don't we get any congrats from the Golden Voice Goddess?
Oh, it had its novelty appeal.
Meow.
Yeah.
Well, there are plenty of novelties around the old opera.
Bravo.
But that doesn't sound like one of them. If that's who I think it is, save your applause for the acts that need it. Yours.
Now, is that the way to talk when I'm handing you posies?
Your applause is no music to my ears, Brannigan. Where's that prop you swiped?
I meant to tell you, Dixie, when you dress for our date tonight, blue is my favorite color. And no big hat, see, that'll get in my way.
When I dress for a date with you, it'll be a suit of armor and brass knuckles.
Gee, that's just a come on. She wants to make it look difficult. She'll change her tune.
Honey, sugar.
See? Yes, darling.
Russell, sugar.
What is it, Angel? I've just started the play.
Yeah, the double play. Wait till Dolly catches up with you.
How does it sound?
Fine, high class.
That's for us. Shall we read it together later?
Anytime you say.
Why don't you get up, Goddess? It'll take one plate to get you and Russell out of burlesque. It'll take a dare.
That settles it. We've got to have a new one.
Do what? Oh, the museum piece. I haven't seen one like that since the Wilkes-Barre Regal.
In some ways, I think it would have been better to stay on the farm.
Mr. Foss always said that nothing's too good for S.B. Foss players, but that thing is certainly too something for me.
Me, too.
Hey. Look, to keep you Cupid dolls from pining so much, us fellas up here are going to chip in $1 apiece on some new plumbing for you. How's that?
Our hero.
I'll put the switch on Moe if he's backstage. He said he knew where we could get one.
It's nothing, girls. I was just doing it for that lovely young bud of the old opera, Miss Dixie Daisy.
Well, I'm touched.
Mandy, Joey, Phil, Biff. Maybe Biff will pay double with his new interest.
You figure that way, don't forget your saloon keeper friend Louie, even if he doesn't work here.
Sure, anybody that saved as much out of the rackets as Louie is a poor part of this guy's upkeep. Or does he?
And while you're at it, put Russell down for plenty. He's here so much the guys upstairs will forget what he looks like.
Well, someone else had better forget what he looks like, too. Some dames never know when a guy's fed up.
Oh, Dolly, we were just kidding about how much jack we could get out of upstairs for the new bric-a-brac.
Yeah, I came in on the tail end of it. I'll take care of Russ since I sort of got the habit. Good thing you have, girlie. You sure couldn't hold a man unless you did pay up.
Don't stop it! Oh, it's going to
Put that bracket up there.
Oh, my vocal cords, my voice. Thank heaven, Mother. They're still all right. Mother? What kind of a mother would a dame like you have? A mother with a good brain.
Stop him!
There's a package for you boys. Don't open it till Christmas. Oh, ouch.
Fight him again, Dolly.
Take her Quiet, there's a number wrong with it.
Oh, you look what crawled out of the antiques. Hey, what are you burning, that ground bird seed?
We ought to put those two down in the basement with the rest of the crop.
Opera singers didn't mind it, but burlesque artistes, times have changed.
They ain't got no manners. Think they're better than an honest man that works for a living and don't pose around on no stage.
Excuse me.
Hey, what'd you do to Statue of the Hermit? Boy, were you getting dished by the gruesome twosome.
It's gin. You know, alcohol like they use in hospitals.
Yeah, well, I know a better place to use it. Give me it. And the next time you girls pull a free-for-all, don't pull it during my act. You know, it's tough enough doing something artistic for those lugs out there without you and Dolly calling each other by your right names.
What'll you do, honey? Drop your spangles?
And it was embarrassing, believe me. But very successful. What hit me?
Hurry it up, Miss Dixie. We're on.
Coming. Well, girls, keep the home fires under control.
Shall we join the customers?
That's what we're getting paid for.
You're going to feel pretty silly someday when you remember acting like this.
If I remember you that long.
Oh, you'll remember. We're going to make sensational partners.
Sure about that?
Oh, I mean, it's some of our dance routines.
Naturally. Never any doubt what a comic means.
You better settle down to it, Dixie. Looks like you and I are in for a good long run here.
I'm in training for it. I can keep ahead of you. Hurry up, Miss Well, you're on.
How'd you give me the answer?
I told you the last time, there's no use asking.
This time I'll be good, please.
I said no, I mean no.
Hey, where you going?
I'm going to meet a blonde.
A blonde?
That blonde that works the dice at Kelly's pool room. Maybe you know her.
No, I don't know her. Hey, I want a blonde.
You want a blonde? What kind of a blonde?
Any kind. One like this, or one like this, or one like this. Just a blonde. Hey, how come you have all the luck with the girls?
Because, my boy, I have something you haven't got.
Oh, you got a magic thing there, a
See
secret
this
weapon?
little article? All I have to do is wave that little persuader under the lady's nose. She gives me anything I want.
Anything?
Anything at all.
Hey, sell it to me.
Well, my boy, that's a very valuable article. My price would be $1,000.
So long. Hey, lady, you left your motor running.
Don't get excited. You didn't start.
I bet I could stop it. Hey, maybe I ought to buy that thing, huh?
I thought you said you wanted a blonde.
Ah, she looks like she's a blonde at heart.
Here, you can't talk that way about that sweet, charming, innocent young lady.
I was just trying to tell her that...
Never mind what you were trying. Now, are you interested in purchasing this persuader or not?
Well, it seems like an awful lot of money for such a small article.
My boy, don't you realize the best things always come in small packages?
Yeah, but before I spend all that money, how do I know it's going to work?
Why, of course it'll work. All you have to do is
Sammy.
put the little persuader under the lady's nose. She gives you anything you want.
Hello, hello. Oh, there's never anybody around here when you want
What is
them. It looks like a raid. I'm trying to get forced.
A raid!
Hello, hello.
That red light's supposed to flash when the cops are in the lobby.
Well, why isn't it working?
That's swell, but, Couldn't you make it a little cheaper?
Well, I might sell it in the neighborhood of $500.
That's an expensive neighborhood.
Well, how much money have you got?
Oh, roughly $400.
What do you mean, roughly?
Well, when you smooth it out, it's $3.
Well, enough of this nonsense now. Because I like you and because you have an honest face.
Murder.
I'm going to sell you this little article for $100.
$100.
Remember, my boy, just pass it under her nose.
Just pass it under a note. Anything I ask for, anything. Now, you've done it. They heard that hand you got way down at the police station.
Something smells fishy around here.
Why wasn't that light on?
Because somebody didn't want it on. Look, cut as clean as a whistle right here under my nose. And by somebody who...
Give me your money. When the lights blank out, make a break for the cold chute. Know where it is?
I don't hang around the same parts of this theater that you do.
Give me a kiss. In the cellar next to the vacant room and cut the end of the blackout.
Not a chance, Brannigan. I've been saving up for this all evening.
Hey, wait for me.
Alice, don't get excited. I'll protect you. Come on, let's get on. Go.
What's going on down there? Okay, come on. On your feet. Yes.
You're the black man! You're going your black feet!
Come on!
Wait a minute. Stop it. Pull up the curtain. Stop it. Don't fight. I'll fix everything. Be calm. Be calm. Be calm, I beseech you. Stop it. Stop it. Don't fight. Be calm. S.B. Forces never lets his actors down. And you are not riding in the wagon. I, S.B. Force, out of my own pocket, have hired limousines to take you to jail.
3 cheers for Force, our boss.
Yeah, he came just in the nick of time.
Call in.
Well, you didn't have to what? Nothing, never mind.
1 hour. S.B. Force gives you his word. In 1 hour, I will have you out. I said 1 hour, didn't I? Well, here we are. All ready for our little snack of steaks and champagne. What else could the cops do when not one of you did anything to warrant such a ignoble act like that raid? But it wasn't the cops that kept the light from flashing. It was someone right from our middle.
And it wasn't the cops that tried to strangle me. That female flatfoot was wearing gloves.
Oh! Dixie, what are you talking about?
When the lights went out, I made for the cold chute. I was starting down the stairs when somebody grabbed me.
Mandy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, it wasn't me, Dixie. Honest, it wasn't.
Somebody grabbed me and tried to strangle me. Those hands were long and thin, and they knew what they were doing. It was strong enough to make me black out.
Sugar, you're still blacked out.
Dixie, somebody was trying to find his way out.
Yeah, neck is a funny thing to mistake for a signpost.
Well, I've seen a lot of pink elephants in my day, honey, but never a strangler. Besides, who'd want to kill you?
Well, I don't say they wanted to kill me. What I'm saying is that somebody in that theater tried to kill somebody else. Maybe somebody does want to get rid of somebody else around here.
Just what do you mean by that?
I mean that 3 people get crowded at a table for 2. And when some people get crowded, they push.
Please, please. Whatever we got in the old opera house, we ain't got murderers. And this is my answer to such foolishness.
Ah, wallpaper.
You should have such wallpaper to pretty up your house. To each and every one of my actors, I give free, and without cost, one paid in full share of my personal stock in the old Opera House. Thank you. Come on up, everybody, and get it. That's right. Come on.
We should have a rate every night, then, boss.
Yes, that's right. Now we are one for all and all for the old Opera.
Champagne and cocktails are right in our line. Sweet and wine.
Remember, easy, a dozen. Should it? Was it?
Riches were most before.
So, Sir Galahad finally got here.
Got a bad temper, Songbird.
Why didn't you come down and get me? I called you, didn't I?
I don't go near jails. I don't go near cops. You know that.
But a cell crawling with floozies is all right for me. I can be booked like a common tramp, can't I?
You might have liked it if your boyfriend had serenaded you. Might have worked up a quartet with your cell buddies.
Big Louis the Grin. Turns gray when he sees a cop like a gunsel. You shouldn't have plugged that car up.
Get your coat. You won't get too lonesome for us, will you?
Let's break.
Needed that, didn't you? Don't worry, the cops haven't got anything on you yet. When they do, they'll catch up on a lot of things. Won't they, Louis?
I don't know, will they?
Ah, this is more like it. Do you mind, Curly?
Not at all.
Thank you. See that? He gets it quicker than you do. We belong together.
Champagne cocktail, please.
In a flasson, garçon, too.
Linguist.
Oh, French.
I see you've been here before.
Oh, beer's a lot better for you. Always got your best interest at heart, that's me.
And I left upstairs to come down here with you. Steak, champagne.
Yeah, but things upstairs were getting sudden and violent.
Yeah. They've been that way all evening. Biff, I wonder...
Forget that stuff, will you? Oh, I get it. You're just pulling this act to make me feel protective.
Don't you ever figure on anybody telling the truth?
Not burlesque dames. They're used to wriggling out of things. Did you get that one? Dixie, tell me something.
You tell me. Who'd want to close the old opera? More important, who'd be after me?
Well, Dixie, I guess I'll have to confess. It was just me taking a natural advantage of the dark.
Oh, no. That's not where you'd grab me.
Go ahead. Make a mystery out of it. But didn't you say before they were probably after somebody else?
Yeah, I know, but... Oh, let's get out of here and get some fresh air. I want to think this thing out.
If you'll promise to think something else over first.
We're on that track again.
Dixie, I don't get it. I've always gotten along before. Is it the set of my shoulders you don't like? The look in my eyes?
No. No, your shoulders aren't bad. Your eyes are a pretty color. But...
I guess what I need with you is a good four-leaf clover.
No, you need more than that, Brannigan. You're a comic.
What is the matter with comics?
I went into show business when I was 7 years old. 2 days later, the first comic I ever met stole my piggy bank on a railroad station in Portland. When I was 11, the comics were looking at my ankles. When I was 14, they were just looking. When I was 20, I'd been stuck with enough lunch checks to pay for a 3-story house. Now, they're shiftless, dame-chasing, ambitionless.
I've got it. You're ambitious.
Well, maybe I'd like to get away from comics. Maybe I'd like to be in a 4:40 show and have Sunday nights off.
You'll do it, too, Dixie.
You don't mean that.
I can see it right now. Your name up there. What's your real name, honey?
Deborah Hoople.
Deborah Hoople. You think...
Yeah, maybe just Dixie.
Dixie Daisy and Broadway's latest hit. You know what I'm going to do opening night? Buy the whole first row just for me.
Sounds nice, Brannigan.
You'll see. Won't take long either. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's why I ordered beer. I said it was to your interest.
Comics.
Thank you.
$4.50, sir.
For when I'm not around. To protect my best interest.
Where's your change, mister?
Keep it.
Tonsils will be appreciated.
If the cops had heard her last night, they'd have used her for a siren.
We artists all have to put up with jealousy. You look in this window once more and you'll get a bottle over there. Those chop suey hustlers don't stop.
Why don't you dress someplace else?
It's my dressing room.
And it's their porch. They're probably a darn sight hotter than that
Boy,
kitchen.
are they hot tonight. A couple of sailors fell right out of their boxes. What's that work of art?
Laurel leaves for the party tonight.
We're going to have a regular unveiling, like when you unveil statues of generals and horses and things.
Maybe that'll teach you to mind your own business. Not that it matters to you, dames, but someone had to teach them that a lady's entitled to privacy.
You'll get plenty of privacy if that waiter's hurt. They have laws for people like you.
Oh, yeah? Who gave you a cue? Stick to your own business and I'll stick to mine.
Stick to my own business. That's a laugh. I've stood for your knives in the back to keep a little peace around here, but I'm through. If you're not jumping on us, you're knocking out waiters who wouldn't look at you if you were rolled in batter and French fries.
And I'm through letting a corn-fed upstart get pushed ahead of me. Where does everybody get the idea you're so hot?
Maybe the customers get the idea.
You can have these customers. I'm getting out of this grindhouse.
Are you decent?
Oh, I wish he wouldn't say that. It sounds so cheap.
Molly, let me help you.
Anyway, I know.
Get out of Bo Brummel.
Hey, is that good, that bow business?
It ain't hot, is it?
What do you mean, hot? It's like this. I think of this pal of mine I used to work with in the old days. When we got legitimate, he took up plumbing. And what do you know? He gives me at wholesale.
Oh.
And what's more, I saved you plenty by installing it personally. Just look at that. Just look at that. Ain't that gorgeous? Why, it's got class enough for the Queen of Sheba. Now, you'd really have something if you had a whole suit to match.
Sweet.
Come on, everybody down for the conga. You, play with that thing later. Come on, everybody. Come on.
Okay.
What's the matter with Sammy? Sounds like he swallowed a file.
Probably so, because we didn't ask him to the party. Probably won't even have a party with Mother's darling throwing bottle grenades at the food supply.
I'll try and smooth things over while you girls hand out the allure.
Hey, Dix.
Yeah?
I'm worried.
What about?
Look, it was a break for us to come on here, so okay. But Columbus was never like this. Lolita's ready to slit your throat, Dolly's up in the air.
Since when couldn't I take care of myself?
Yeah, I know, but... We almost got him that time. See what I mean?
Ever find a stage gang that didn't eavesdrop? Go on, get down there.
Now, was that a sight? I ask you. Hold it. Mm-mm. If they could get moonlight on that stage, Force would be a millionaire tomorrow. Where you off to, Miss Venus?
I'm on a peace mission. If you hear any screams, tell Force to hire a new woman.
You won't lose any arguments. Not looking like that. You won't have time. You know, if this were real lasso, I'd drag you up here like a calf in a western. Only no calf ever had a hide as pretty as that.
What would you do when you got me? You've had a little trouble putting the brand on so far.
Ah, that's so far. After a sight like that, my Irish ancestors would rise up in their graves if Brannigan missed the bus.
I hate to disturb your ancestors. Well, what sense, friends?
I show you soon what sense. and if you want to start something.
Hey, Bear,
more things
the girl's dance number's nearly finished. You better get ready.
Oh, now, wait a minute, boys. I'm carrying a white flag. You Chinese fight too darn well for us to want to mix with you. Come here, let me take a look at that. That isn't the way to take care of it.
You go back. We have nothing to do with you.
Yeah, we'll have something to do with this. Here. No dinners?
No more dinners, ever, no.
Oh, now, look, we have to put up with enough with that dame without her starving us out in the bargain. She was born with an axe in her mouth. She ought to be put out of her misery like a mad dog. Come on. Tell me you'll bring us our dinners, and I'll smooth your divorce into giving you some passes.
Things getting a little bit difficult for you, Biff?
Yeah, Mandy. You know how it is. Sometimes these things take time.
They sure do.
You gotta plan it out. Sometimes you finagle them this way, and other times you finagle them that way.
That's why I like sweet dumb girls like Alice. No finagling.
We bring the dinners.
Nice with spirit, and don't spare the ice until that's better. See you later.
Wait a minute. Ginseng root. You eat it, makes you live a long time.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
So he slips you one of those never die things, huh?
Yes, Mr. Brannigan. It's a charm to ward off the evil spirit.
Biff, what's the matter?
That was my ancestors rising up in their graves.
How about that guy with the...
How'd you make out with the waiters, Dixie?
Yeah, did we put on the feed bag?
Yeah.
And what's that?
I don't know. A waiter gave it to me.
Hey, Dixie's got a new boyfriend.
You eat it and live long time.
Sealing wax.
Oh, sorry, girls. Well, everything's hunky-dory now. Oh, Jake has a few surprises he wants to put in for the unveiling. So you better clear out early for the finale.
This place has as much privacy as a hot dog stand. Look, it's shaped like a man.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
Not so much like a man, more like a skeleton hanging from the gallows. Want to trade it in, Dixie?
Ah, you can have the fool thing.
The same charming gathering. Hello. Well, look what the pixies brought in out of the rain. The same old, familiar faces. And some new arrivals. Who are you?
I'm Dixie Daisy. This is Gigi Graham.
Who are you? I am the Princess Nervina, star of this theater. I have been in the hospital for the last 2 weeks. Dislocated vertebrae.
Maybe she took a little trip to Toledo for old time's sake.
I have never worked in, how you say, to Toledo?
Don't give me that accent business. You know how to say it when I first knew you. Toledo.
I don't go to Toledo. Only tramps work in Toledo.
Well, they get around.
No. I should have danced before royalty. Instead, the princess throws pearls to swine.
You snooty.
We're on again, beautiful.
Hello, Black Iron.
It wasn't bad luck. I'd let her have it.
Who was that overexposed debutante?
A dame who thinks she's 4 times sharper than she is. There's one thing I hate, it's a phony.
I should have danced before royalty. Instead, the princess throws pearls to swine.
I had a black cat like that once, only there wasn't so much of it.
Well, I wouldn't be too hard on her. She's bad luck to some people, not so bad to others.
If anyone else drops in that I should meet, tell them I'm on stage.
The court is now in order. Make for a little discipline. Leave us have order and leave us have quiet. Bring the prisoner before the bar.
I startled you?
Lately, sister, I've been startled by experts.
Tell me, while I have been gone, has this Lulita, has she said anything about me?
No. You were a smash surprise to me.
It is only that some people talk too much. And this Lulita talks a lot too much.
Not to me. Ask the others in the dressing room.
I dress alone, downstairs. I'd rather live in a pigsty than with those women.
What are you doing, Jake? Moving up the whole prop room?
I gotta do my surprises upright, Dixie.
Still clumsy, eh?
Yes, I am back.
Just visiting, I hope.
Staying, Mr. Prop Man.
Court finds you guilty of being drunk and fines you $5.
Here's a $10 bill.
$10 bill, I haven't got any change. Go out and get drunk again. Court is now ready to proceed the trial of the divorce case of Miss Peaches Wilson.
Miss Peaches Wilson, Lord.
Come on, what are you waiting for? You're on.
Sorry, Sammy.
Oh, hello, Excellency.
Wait. What is that?
Dot.
Timber!
She does what you do, only they like it better. You two can trade notes at that wingding they're throwing tonight.
Do you think I would go? I, the princess?
Free drinks, Highness.
I might come. Now I want to see Mr. Foss. Is he here?
Right in the same old rat's nest. Want me to tell him you're back?
Tell him to come to my dressing room.
No.
Want to get a cigar? I'll be back right away.
Come, Miss Peaches. We want the truth.
The what?
The truth.
Oh, that old thing.
Were you ever up before me?
I don't know. What time do you get up?
Now, Miss Peaches, the facts of the case are clear to me. You plead guilty or not guilty?
Don't you think that's a rather personal question?
Oh, you'll have to tell him.
Why?
Why?
Why? Because according to the Constitution of the bylaws of the state of Tacoma, Section 63, Upper 7, car ready to fall, leaving for South Mississippi at all points where it's distinctly said, you know,
I hold you in contempt.
I don't like you either.
I don't like you either.
Well, I don't like you either.
Enough of that.
Who's the carpenter with a hammer?
How dare you refer to me as a carpenter? I am Justice.
Yeah? Well, I'm Justice, too.
Justice who?
Just as good as you are. What for? I'm not thirsty.
Hey, Louie, you know something? Them girls is lucky they know a couple like us. I bring in the fancy gadget, you roll the kegs. We're running this party.
Yeah. Where you going?
Back in to get the rest of the beer.
That's all you're going to get. I told Charlie to take it easy on the free drinks from my pals.
Sure, Louie. Sure.
Step aside. It's all dark and withered. Some gentlemen are passing.
All my sacrifices, Alfred, are but keys to open the gates of heaven and let me be with you. I'll bat him in the aisles with that one. I feel it. Here.
It says here in the complaint that you hit your husband over the head with a frying pan. Blacked both his eyes.
Coming, Sammy.
Hit him in the leg and scratched his face. Why did you...
People don't learn easy, Songbird.
Now, don't do it, Louis.
Gotta take a lot of lessons before they stay in line.
Now, don't do it, Louis.
Quiet! Just kidding.
You're terrific, Louis. No, it's so rough and tough as Big Shot Louis the Grin. When he's back, women are pushing guys around.
Come on and give me heat, 'cause I don't like my music sweet. I want to feel my impulse beat. Take it off the E string, play it on the G string. If this gives you a thrill, it's happening much against my will, and only 'cause I caught a chill. Take it off the E string, play it on the G string. What goes a lot goes when I do my act. Whenever I'm applauded or rewarded, each time or jump, goose as big as lump, I start breaking out and brother, I'm making my eggs and bacon, earning my pay. That guy shaking his way, 4 shows a day.
Things I do for the old opera house. The next thing you know, I'll be hanging from a trapeze.
Tell the bird to get a hustle on.
And the bird, your grandmother.
Jake must trust you comics as far as he can throw the prop room.
What's up now?
Oh, that sealing wax from the box the waiter gave me. He's got it on the catch of the door.
Sometimes I think you don't have the right respect for your fellow workers. Maybe I ought to try Louis' masterful touch on you.
Good thing the goddess didn't hear that. Hey, Sammy! Hey, Sammy, the prima donna isn't up here.
Oh, what the deuce. She can't miss this number. It's the finale. Look, Stall. You have to stand on your heads out there to keep them looking. Stall. That dame causes more trouble around here than a forest fire. What do you mean she isn't here? Have you looked?
Yeah. Look out, Jake sealed her.
Oh, I know. If I wasn't... Look. Around her neck.
It's her G-string.
It ain't there for an ornament either.
Force. I gotta get Force. Best get the police quick.
Press and roll evenly from side to side with a firm touch.
Without making a detailed examination, I'd say they were the same. Now, the first finger of the right
It's
hand...
the finger I pressed against the wax. I was...
Hey, you're holding up the parade. What a parade. The only thing missing is the elephant.
Is that another limb of the law?
Don't worry about him. Save your explanations for his nibs. He enjoys hearing them.
Miss Daisy, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm Inspector Harrigan. Sit there, please.
Now, to repeat what I was saying, since Miss Daisy was busy downstairs, someone who was in the room immediately after the body was discovered took that G-string for reasons of his or her own.
What G-string?
The murder weapon, Miss Daisy.
Well, it was her own G-string, and it was around her neck. We all saw it.
All but the police. The G-string had disappeared by the time we arrived at the theater.
Well, maybe it just fell off.
How could anybody take the G-string in that crowd? Everybody in the theater ran in.
We are not interested in how it was done. We are interested in who did it, where the weapon was put, and why it was taken.
Well, why don't you search us and settle that part of it? Muscles here looks like he might enjoy it.
You can search me, Mr. Kelly.
Not that I could hide anything on me.
The lady's point is well taken. And a search after this time in this crowd would only cause confusion.
It's getting a little too warm here for me.
Well, there's been plenty of time for concealment. But if one of you could suggest why it was taken.
Well, she always carried money on her. She used to hide it in the lining of her costume. You think there's a ghoul in this room? Since there's a murderer.
Oh, yes,
Mr. James Wong.
Yes, I've heard of you, Mr. Wong. That's a nasty bump.
Nasty throw.
Nasty enough to cause nastiness all around, eh? Oh, here. I see. Send out a call for Louis Grandero. Complete description of him and leave the car.
Louis beat it?
Well, that settles it.
Now we can go home.
What did I tell you?
I'm afraid that doesn't quite settle the matter.
But he ran away.
Please be seated. Grindero took his car and as much cash as he had in the saloon next door after receiving a call from,
Okay, so I called him. When we was in the racket, she did me a couple of turns. All I did was tell him she was dead.
I don't care how Louis knew about anything. I know Lolita was so scared of what he was going to do that she was taking it out on us. I know he started something and
He's got his
promised more.
reasons. He's scared of cops. The pen tore something loose in him, and ever since, he knew what they would do if they got him in again.
He may or may not be guilty of this murder. He'll be examined as thoroughly as any of you when he is picked up. But Lolita Laverne was murdered between the time she came upstairs after her quarrel with Grindero and the finding of her body.
Before I went up at the end of our act.
Perhaps. During most of that time, the room was cleared. But the murderer had time to strangle Laverne, break Jake's seal, and replace it with one of his own.
I know she wasn't in there when I put the seal on. If she had been, I'd have said something.
Let us hope so. Well, do all of you still remember exactly nothing about your own movements or anyone else's?
Oh, yes.
Yes? Yes, Miss Angel?
Well, once I went to the water cooler, and I was all alone.
Yes?
Well, don't you see?
See what?
There was nobody with me. Anybody could have gone up.
Even you, Miss Angel.
Oh! Oh, excuse me.
Well, it all adds up to this. The stagehands could wander about the theater at will. Candy Butcher, the stage manager who was angry.
What are you getting at? Sure, I ever saw her, but I didn't know she was...
Even the flyman, who makes no secret of his dislike of burlesque performers. You don't like burlesque performers either, Statue.
Oh, they're not the easiest in the world to get along with. they don't like my pipe.
Mr. Rogers. Yeah? Where were you?
I was first on for the finale. Before that, I was dressing.
Mr. Brannigan, could you put that away?
Oh, I can't do my thinking without this.
Seems I can't do mine with it.
Okay, I'll turn my back.
Where were you?
Me? Oh, I was just up and down.
Up and down the stairs, indeed.
I didn't say that.
Did you mean it?
I didn't say I didn't. I was just up and down.
Where were you up and down? What interest did you have in Lolita Laverne?
What is an interest in Laverne? Goodness.
When you were up and down the stairs.
I wasn't up and down on the stairs. I was up and down on the floor. It's a gag.
I'm not interested in gags. I'm interested in what you were up and down on.
The stage. Oh, you make me so mad. Look, I'll explain it to you. First, I stand up, and then she kisses me, and then I'm down, see? It starts like this. Ooh, I'm an incubator baby.
You're an incubator baby? What do you do on Mother's Day?
I said flowers to an oil stove.
What's the matter with these two?
They're comics.
Stop this nonsense. What are you trying to tell me?
The stage, the skit, up and down. Look, I'll show you. Gee.
Stop this! Nonsense has held up the whole investigation. You've driven more important things out of my mind. You see, where was I? Oh, yes, Miss Nervina.
I am the Princess Nervina, and I was in my dressing room until I heard the excitement.
Is that so? Well, why didn't you ask her about Toledo? Laverne was always making cracks about Toledo. Making cracks, period.
I told her I had never worked in Toledo. That is the truth. Is it not the truth, Mr. Foss? Isn't it?
She never worked in my Toledo theater with Levine.
As for cracks Laverne make, it is as this person says. Cracks, period. The cracks she make to her were enough to start a fight.
Yeah? Well, I was mad enough to take a poke at her. And I'm mad now.
You took a poke with a nail file, our report shows.
Well, I grabbed at anything I could lay my hands on.
That sounds natural. But a nail file, that could be used to, well, to kill a person, couldn't it?
Sure.
And if the weapon was murderous, the attack might be considered murderous, mightn't it?
Wait a minute. You're running words around me like a brush fire.
Not words, Miss Baxter. Facts. I'm not responsible for the facts. Mr. Rogers was responsible for the quarrel because of his interest in Miss Laverne.
We hoped to produce a play I had obtained on the legitimate stage. Our interest was purely professional.
Miss Laverne threw a bottle at Mr. Wong earlier in the evening. You resented that.
I was mad. I was plenty mad.
Bringing on a quarrel between Miss Laverne and Miss Daisy.
Which had been coming on for a long time. Put that in, too.
She said Laverne should be put out of her misery like a mad dog.
Is that true, Miss Daisy?
Yeah, well, it was a figure of speech.
An unfortunate one, seeing it was acted on so suddenly.
Now I have something to say.
Yes?
We are all in the room after the body is found. I am next to her. Suddenly, she notices something on her finger. She turns away to wipe it off. It is red.
Like the wax on the door,
I
perhaps.
thought we'd get to that. Since you started this reunion, you've made one charge after another. You knew it was my print on that wax when I walked into this room, which you've been saving a little bombshell for the last spot in the bill. If I really had changed the wax, do you think I'm dumb enough to leave my print in the middle of it?
Murderers are caught by mistakes, Miss Daisy.
I was in the dressing room, I saw the wax, I was curious, and I touched it.
Why did you later furtively wipe it off?
I wiped it off, but not furtively.
You turned away from me.
I turn away from garbage dumps, too.
One more thing. The wax that was used to reseal the door has been identified as coming from the box given to you by Mr. Wong.
I gave it to Lolita.
You knew about it.
Everybody who was in the room knew about it.
I thought you were regular. I didn't think you'd try to pull the blame on us.
I wasn't trying to...
Laverne hated each other's insides.
Her remarks have shown that.
There are plenty of people I don't like. You, for one. But I don't go around killing them.
I didn't say you did. I merely said that you hated the Laverne girl. That you were the only person admittedly in the dressing room during the time the murder occurred. That the wax used to reseal the door came from a box given to you. That your fingerprint was on the wax. And that you tried to take that wax from your finger without being noticed.
Stop it! Dixie. Why, you two-faced snooper?
Wait a minute, Inspector. There is some mistake.
Inspector, there's a big mistake. You can't think this girl did that murder. Why, look at her. Sitting there, so beautiful and defenseless. Why, only last week she came to this theater and made more friends than a whole litter of kittens. Why, she couldn't any more...
Miss Daisy is very beautiful, but she doesn't strike me as being either fragile or ethereal.
Yeah? Well, furthermore, that woman wasn't out of my sight all evening.
That's a silly lie. She just said she was alone in the dressing room.
But while we're talking about lies, why don't you give yourself top billing? You forgot to mention that you told us guys this afternoon that you'd kill Lolita if she kept running around with that Louis.
Well, perhaps I felt like killing her. But I loved her. I wanted to marry her. I loved her too much to kill her.
Is there something you wanted to tell me, Miss Baxter?
No.
Didn't you want to tell me it's impossible for Russell Rogers to marry Lolita Laverne?
No, no, no.
Impossible because he's already married? Married to you? You're surprised that I know this. 2 years ago, when you were booked during a raid, may interest you to know your record was collected.
We didn't want to make it known because we knew that Foss didn't hire married couples. When I saw her making a play for him, I wanted to tell, but he wouldn't let me. He told me he loved her and he never loved me.
Yeah, and why did you tell me? She wasn't crying the night she threatened to kill Laverne and me. Look at this. Those marks. She did that a week ago. The night I threatened to leave her.
That isn't true. It's all lies.
How long did you have to practice to make like such a heel?
Please. This is the coroner's preliminary report. Lolita Laverne was poisoned. She would have died in 3 minutes if the strangler had not interfered. In other words, the murderer was so impatient he couldn't wait for his poison to take effect. Or, there are 2 murderers in the old opera house. This is my first experience with burlesque. It's a surprising profession. You will all remain within reaching distance until the case is settled.
Poisoned.
If we can just get out of here, I don't care what happens.
Baby! I thought there was to be a party tonight. Are we not to have it?
That's what I like. The sensitive type.
And this is one cookie that's not going back to that room till she's had a bracer.
Not me either. I want to fix it anyway.
Well, lead me to the prop room. I could use one, too.
Where are you going? Biff. Biff. What? The picture of Laverne's mother, it's gone. Why, that's...
Lolita's. I threw it out on the roof.
Biff.
Listen, Dixie, I found this in my pocket. Somebody slipped it there, but I didn't think they'd believe that. They aren't believing anything. So I backed up towards the window.
For once a comic showed some brains. Get rid of it.
Oh, no, Dixie. I couldn't do that. I've been thinking. I was a coward.
Biff.
This is evidence. Important evidence. This is the murder weapon. And they're bearing down on you. Do you think I could think of myself? I'm gonna turn it in.
But if they won't believe you?
I'll have to take that chance, Dixie. When I saw you in trouble up there, Harrigan pushing you around, well...
Yes, I know. You stuck up for me. It was swell of you.
Maybe you changed your mind about me?
Well, now, don't rush me. After all, you are a comic.
It'd be swell to think you had. Maybe you're worried.
Well, maybe for a few minutes you... There.
My goodness, you two certainly have strange taste in romance. Imagine being alone in a room where a woman was murdered and with a man.
We wanted you to join the party. Looks like we broke one up.
I'm coming, but pipe this. The picture of Laverne's mother is gone.
Was it there tonight?
She never let it out of her sight. She carried it here and home again.
She spoke to it, too. Oh, Mr. Kelly will be so excited to hear about this.
Oh, no, you don't, Angel Puss. No more questions till we get some sleep.
Maybe we both could do with some of that.
Tonight I got too much on my mind for sleep. Good night, Dixie.
Good luck, Irish.
What you got in your hand there, Bud?
Oh, nothing. I just... Hello.
Don't make a move till I get down there.
Oh, me? What's the matter with a guy getting a little fresh air out here?
Now, let's see what you're trying to tuck away, funny man.
Oh, nothing. I was just...
Give.
Really, I just walked out the...
Give. Well, now, ain't that cute and pretty? A murder weapon. Or maybe you carry it for sentimental reasons. Why'd you kill Laverne?
Now, ain't that just like a flatfoot? I found it in my pocket, planted. That's why I was looking for you, to give it to you.
Oh, you found it. You were going to give it to me. Out here?
Well, it's dark, and I had to look for you.
Oh, you had a look, did you? Were you looking for me down the drain pipe? Do I look like the kind of a guy you'd find down a drain pipe?
Maybe I wouldn't look in such a classy spot for such a dumb flatfoot as...
The inspector's going to be plenty interested in a guy who tries to get rid of murder weapons. We'll just take a little ride down to headquarters.
Oh, sure, we'll go down and see the inspector. Sure, that's why I was looking for you in the first place. Now, look, I'll explain it again. You see, it was dark, and I was looking for you. And I bent down to get a better look at the upstairs dressing room window, you see? My arm was hanging down by the drain pipe, and... What is that drain pipe doing there?
I can confirm that, officer. I'm sure Mr. Brannigan only wanted to do his duty. He was so worried about important evidence.
Well, I'm through talking. Go on. You burlesque people around such a merry-go-round, you'll have me catching brass rings.
Let this guy give you a chuckle, Dixie. He couldn't find a goldfish in a cold cream jar.
You weren't using that drain pipe for a maypole.
Oh, now listen, Dixie. I was just... Oh, well. Maybe that little kiss was worth it.
Good thing for you. It's the last little kiss you get from this working girl.
Maybe life in the electric chair wouldn't be so bad.
Maybe you'll get a try. Come on.
Goodbye, Dixie.
So long, comic.
Hotel by now.
taxi. Follow that cab.
Gypsy. You're not worried about that lug sitting in the cell, are you?
No. I was thinking how we felt when we pulled out of Columbus. The old opera was going to be the last rung on the ladder to the Great White Way.
You're doing all right.
Oh, sure, fine. First we run into comics, then murders. Now that Cossack from Canarsie is on in my spot.
I was expecting you.
Then maybe you were expecting my 2 weeks' notice. On second thought, no notice. Sue me.
Is it so bad?
And I'm not working burlesque for laughs. This little girl's got her way to make in the world. When you brought me here, you promised me the moon. Now I'm getting green cheese and not liking it. Why? I've been doing all right. My face hasn't fallen apart since yesterday.
I know. She wants to get out of burlesque. She wants me to produce a show for her. I told her to wait. She gets impatient, so...
The family, huh? So that's the fire that started in Toledo.
She went to South America and then she came back. Letters, canceled checks, copies of...
Yeah, I get it.
Dixie. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right.
You look thoughtful, Miss Daisy.
Thoughtful isn't a word, Statue.
I'm not surprised. Every day's more and more trouble around the old opera.
Not like the old days, huh?
Oh, we had trouble then. Not murders, maybe, but I could tell you.
Don't you ever look at the labels?
After 35 years, I know what box belonged to. And one for Miss Daisy. Yeah, I suppose we are the oldest things in the theater. Box, the Hermit, and me.
Another one from the old Guy in row 3. That a new wrinkle, Statue?
In the old days, the prima donnas would get notes, maybe from one of the boxes, in dozens of roses. And after the performance was over, we of the company would wait and see the prima donnas go out. And there would be crowds and the wealthiest men in the city waiting in evening clothes and carriages. I was very torn.
Oh. And you lost your voice, huh?
And so I took up smoking a pipe and sitting here. We were no better than you people for saving the money.
Well, home again after 20 years in the clink. Framed by the villain. the light in the window, the faithful caretaker, and the little woman
Did
waiting.
they give you a watchdog?
Not exactly, Miss Daisy. If you would tell Miss Angel I'm here.
What's this? Ha! You're behind in your literature, Irish. He's a 35 years old.
You ain't whistling, it's literature. I learned more about burlesque in 5 minutes than I did all the time that I was...
Yeah, well, hurry it up or we'll send Joey on again and you can sit in the clink for good.
Get a load of that guy.
How come you're here?
Oh, they had to let me go. New evidence.
What?
They found Louis' car right around the corner from the theater, so he didn't use that in his getaway. They didn't find Laverne's picture of her mother, but they did find the frame.
Where?
Ah, they won't say where. They found Lolita's bank book in her apartment. Yesterday, she drew 10,000 smackers out of the bank. Now, where did that money go to?
Maybe down the drain pipe with the rest of the evidence.
Aren't you a teeny-weeny bit glad to see me back?
No.
Okay. You'll see me in a minute. We're on next.
Imagine you being here tonight, Mr. Kelly. Everything is happening to me tonight. Tonight I do my first specialty.
Well, I'll be right there to give you my encouragement.
Oh, thank you. Of course, now I'll have to watch my weight awfully closely.
Inspector Hunter Marcus to be plainly on duty. After all, this is an important case.
Please, Mr. Kelly, please don't talk about the murder. So gruesome. Who do you think done it?
Well, it could be almost anybody.
Oh, do you really think so, Mr. Kelly?
Here are your pals. You want to huddle on some of those big discoveries?
Come on, get on the stairs.
Okay.
Well, well, well. Here I am in a strange and foreign country. And before me stands this mysterious Egyptian gazika box. This is the land of the tsetse fly, the guna guna bird, and the can-can girl. Also those strange, mysterious love potions, which nowadays we call vitamin pills. I am what is known as an archaeologist. An archaeologist is a guy that digs up mummies. Well, the other day I dug up a mummy, and he was a hepcat. How did I know he was a hepcat? Because he turned to me and said, "Do you dig me, Jack?"
It's the princess, another...
Around the neck again. Bring the curtain down.
All right, outside. Look at it. Where'd that box come from? The prop room. Get in there.
Oh, Mr. Kelly, don't leave me.
Boss, somebody just knocked off the princess.
When was she last seen alive?
After her number, I guess.
Inspector, could it be suicide?
It's Louis.
Get back. The lights out! No, give me some help. Put a spot on him.
He was hiding in the prop room, and he got me first.
Any other way out of that ceiling?
There's another ladder over there. You take them from both sides.
Got it. Bill, get over there. You're surrounded, Lloyd. Gotta give up and come down. You ain't getting me back in, Papa. Coming up. I'm waiting for you. I didn't do it. I didn't kill her. Don't think you're gonna get me for it, coppers. I told you to stay back. I told you to lay off. I told you you wouldn't get me. Guilty or not, he was afraid of a rap even before it was pinned on him. Well, I guess we can cross off one of our question marks.
Or hang one more on our collection. Oh, don't look at me as if I were crazy. Put it down to women's intuition, but I'm sure feeling a chunk of it. Why should he kill the princess?
If we knew all the motives in murder cases, Miss Daisy, there would be no mysteries.
Besides, the prop room was locked.
What's that?
It was all right. If he was hiding inside, he couldn't have got out to kill the princess.
Well, I guess we're going to have to go upstairs again. Round them up.
Come on, girls. Everybody upstairs. Come on.
Hey, you. Upstairs.
Jay,
Yes, sir.
why was the prop room locked?
Had to be. Why, only a month ago, a certain comic walks out with a bundle of my dishes that he says is laundry. Laundry. Why, that guy never owned more than one shirt at a time in his life.
That's a lie.
What's a lie? That you stole my dishes or you got only one shirt? Inspector, the way I figured is...
Go on, Jake.
Well, last night the prop room was open. Some of the liquor was stored there for the party, and Louis must have run in through the basement and ducked there. Then we trapped him when we went in for that bracer. And I locked the door when we left.
He couldn't have got out after you left?
No, sir.
Well, seems like we're right back where we started. Well, Mr. Brannigan, too bad we didn't release you after this killing. Miss Daisy, Mr. Roger, Miss Baxter.
Found it when he looked over the prop room.
Found anybody here? You, Jake?
Yes,
Well, that's Laverne's picture of her.
I found it. Honest, I found it like I did the frame, just after that ruckus about the body. I was going to turn it in, too, but it was torn, and you scared me, and I...
No reason for you to be scared unless you were guilty, Jake.
You don't believe me. Listen, there's plenty people been acting suspicious around here lately. He never said nothing about knowing the princess. Ask him why he took her to her hotel last night and went upstairs with her, too. Ask her why she followed him. Why she was still sitting there when I left.
Why did you follow the princess, Jake?
Why, I was just trying to help.
Yes? Yes, Jake?
Nothing.
Inspector, he was only trying to help me.
Go on, Mr. Foss.
I lied. The princess did work in my Toledo theater. We were well acquainted.
Blackmail, Mr. Foss? I see. Where do you come in, Jake?
I'd been with him in Toledo. I knew she had him on the spot. I thought if I found out something to make her lay off... Listen, when my wife was sick, I found the hospital money in my envelope without even asking. It's things like that you can't repay.
Sometimes a person can find a way, Jake. Was the princess satisfied with what you were giving her?
She kept quiet. She wanted a lot.
You had every reason to wish that she were dead, didn't you?
Inspector,
Miss Baxter, I beg your pardon, Mrs. Rogers. Why were you following the princess last night?
Oh, I couldn't make it out. First Laverne and then the princess. I was trying to figure the connection.
Naturally. Mr. Rogers, why did you go home with the princess?
Gentlemen don't usually answer that question.
Since when were you a gentleman?
How long did you stay?
I can tell you. I sat up long enough in that lobby chair to fall asleep. When I woke up, he was standing at the cigar stand buying a box of cigars. And a humidor to put them in.
Cigars? Well, that doesn't sound very much as though he were in a murdering mood, does it? You have any cigars on you now, Mr. Rogers?
Sure. Go ahead.
Ooh. Excellent brand. Excellent. My wife saves up sometimes and gives me these for a birthday present. You always smoke them?
I like class.
That's a laugh. I smoked his cigars before. Pounded seaweed.
Well, as a matter of fact,
You've changed to something a little more expensive. I see. Why, Mr. Rogers? Why suddenly switch to the most extravagant cigars you can buy? And a whole box at a time, not the usual 2 or 3, and a humidor to keep them in. Why, Mr. Rogers? Let me tell you. $10,000 is missing, taken from the murdered woman. Enough to buy a good many of these cigars. Money taken by you.
Oh, no.
Laverne was afraid of Louis. She was going to throw you over. But you wanted the money she had promised. Was that why she withdrew the $10,000?
Yeah, that's it. She gave me the money.
When? What time of day? Oh, no. You took that money when she was dead, or dying. You poisoned her, but she was strong, tough. You watched her writhing and crawling toward the door. She was going to call for help.
Oh, stop it. The princess gave me the money.
Princess? Sounds like a stall to me.
Please. Why, Mr. Rogers?
Well, to produce my play. She wanted to get out of Burlesque. I heard her kill Laverne.
Go on.
Well, after Louis left, they were making cracks at me, and I went down to the princess' room. She wasn't there. She was up with Laverne. I heard them talking through the ventilator. Lolita knew about Toledo, and she'd been threatening to tell Foss's wife and crab the princess racket. Last night, Navina pretended she didn't mind paying off. That there was enough for both of them. They'd drink to it. I heard her fill the glasses, and then Lolita gagged.
You sat by through that?
After a couple of minutes, I went up. The princess was coming down from the 3rd floor. When she left the room, she must have heard someone coming up, the strangler, and ducked upstairs. But on the way down, I saw her open the door and look in for a minute. Oh, don't you see? That's why she had to be killed. She saw...
You, perhaps. Did you come up to finish her job? You knew about the money.
Oh, Lolita said she had it on her, but it was gone when I took the G-string.
I ought to scare your teeth for planting it on me.
Well, I had to get rid of it.
He makes me squirmy.
He's not a very strong character.
Why should I kill the princess?
Dead women tell no tales, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, no. I couldn't do it. Believe me, I couldn't.
No. I don't believe you could.
You let me go?
No, Mr. Rogers. It's a very uncomfortable thing to be an accessory after the fact. Take Mr. Rogers down to headquarters. Book him.
Run! Oh, Run. You got me in this. Take your filthy hands off me.
Steady. Inspector, whatever I thought, well, I take it back.
Well, it certainly makes me feel relieved.
Me too. Well, I hope not too relieved. We have eliminated one suspect, Louis, and one mystery, the poison. But the strangler... Well, Miss Daisy, does your woman's intuition tell you Mr. Rogers is guilty?
No.
I must warn you all to stay as far away from the theater as possible. The murderer will probably strike again. In fact, it might be best to close the...
Close the... There will be no show tomorrow. You can come to my office for your checks.
That's all.
Wait a minute. I'm not exactly used to making speeches. It isn't my beautiful diction that gets me by in burlesque, but here goes. This murderer seems to have done pretty well what he tried to do. Close the old opera. First he pulled the raid, and when that wasn't enough, he really started putting on the pressure. Now it looks like he's going to get what he wants. And darned if I'm for letting him get away with it.
Well, darned if I'm for sticking around to get strangled by my own beadwork.
I've left a lot of jobs in my time, but I always stuck until the last kick in the pants if the job was worth having. And I'm not going to be scared out of the best job I ever had by a couple of ghosts. We're all stockholders, aren't we? We've got a right to protect our property. We've got a stake in seeing that the old opera keeps going. You know, once I thought I wanted to get out of burlesque. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe I'm not so snooty anymore. Maybe I just want to stick around with Gigi, Dolly, Frosty and Jake and Sammy and Alice and Mandy and... Come on. Who's going to be the first to chip in with me?
Dixie,
I'm with you,
Girl.
Count me in. I'm with you, Dixie.
Yes. We'll stick and stick and stick.
And stick.
All right, you're all bats, but I guess I'm bats with you.
Well, I guess I'll get dressed.
Yeah, let's go,
Surprising profession.
Don't hurry. Who says I'm hurrying? I'm not scared.
Believe me, matinees are going to feel a lot better than night shows for a while.
Mr. Kelly said I was the bravest girl he'd ever seen. I'm going out with him tonight. And believe me, tonight's one night I'll be glad to have a policeman beside me.
What's the matter, Angel? Scared? Don't joke about it. I still haven't decided whether I like you or not.
Oh, go on. Well, I guess I'll have to get along without you tonight, Sarah Jane. I'll finish this at home.
You needn't do that, Miss Daisy.
Oh.
I notice nothing ever happens after I come on. I hear you having more excitement tonight.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
So long. See you at the Peerless.
Okay.
I'll be back in a minute. I want to get some cigarettes from the machine in the lobby.
I'll be ready then. Bring me a pack, too. Where are you going, honey? Who, me? Well, I'm going down to the Peerless Bar and Grill with the rest of you guys for a midnight snack. And a whale of a time.
Scream. Your throat is tight. Your tongue is dry. A few minutes, your friend said. You're hoping there won't be time. It took only a few seconds for Lolita. A little longer for the princess, but she wasn't half dead already. And now, another lovely lady of burlesque. The loveliest of them all. I wanted to kill every woman on that stage. Close the old opera. She'd gone forever. Once it was a place of glory. You aren't afraid of ghosts? I'll be one.
Not so free with the murders, pal.
Dixie! Honey, are you all right?
Well, I'll be.
Dixie, honey.
Oh, Biff.
You sound like you're glad to see the face.
I never was so glad to see a face in my life. What were you doing out there?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
What's it now? Remember a little grandstanding that Flatfoot here misunderstood?
Yeah, the maypole.
And the reading matter I educated myself with in the clink?
Yeah.
Mr. Brannigan's taste in reading was unexpectedly useful. Very unexpectedly.
Right in the middle of it, I found a dame's picture that looked familiar.
Laverne's...
Her mother, sure. But I didn't remember it till I got a flash of that torn picture and checked it upstairs afterwards. Then all I had to do was look at the name, Stacciero. Now, everybody knows how Stacci or Stacciero here was sour on Burlesque. Must have really thrown him off his nut when he found his own granddaughter was working here.
Granddaughter?
Sure. You never know where you find a relative in show business. But Grandpappy's pride couldn't swallow it.
You mean you figured that out all by yourself?
Some grandstanding, huh? Now, the way I figure it, while he was hiding in the cellar during the raid, he sees you trying for the cold shoot, and he really goes bats. Next, he tries his little strangling act on Laverne. The princess catches him at it, so that makes it her turn next. And while I'm upstairs trying to sell this story to these two, I hear about Gigi being dumb enough to leave you alone so he could finish what he started. Why didn't you just send him an engraved invitation, honey?
Well, that does it. Why, you ham and bush-leagued Hawkshaw. Dixie had a hunch it was Stacci ever since she spotted his hands at the mailbox. The hands that try to choke her to glory. So she framed all this. I've been sitting down the stairs with him, waiting for something to happen. What we didn't know was the statue was already in the room.
What I didn't know was that I'd be too scared even to scream. But I had to try my hunch out some way. Nobody seemed to think a lot of my intuition.
As I said before, burlesque is a surprising business. So surprising, it took a couple of burlesquers to figure this out.
Mr. Kelly, where were you? I was waiting.
We had a...
You mean Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the things that happen around here.
Alice, are you all right?
Oh, of course I'm all right. I had to come
I
over
told
here.
you not to come back. It isn't my fault. I couldn't keep out of my... Oh, that's why you don't like me.
I thought you were the girl who didn't like comics, even from a distance.
Well, from close, this one isn't bad.
Say, what is this routine?
Oh, it's the same old routine. But maybe with a different finish. I want a blonde.
You want a blonde? What kind of a blonde?
Any kind. One like this, or one like this, or one like this. You look like you're a blonde at heart.
Maybe I feel like one.
Hey, lady, you left your motor running.
You started it.
And I bet I can finish it.
Brannigan? Brannigan! Invite the gang, Gigi. We're dunking donuts at a wedding breakfast. Ouch! Oh! Oh, Gypsy!
Look.
Well?
Isn't love thrilling?
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
If only you'd speak up or do something.
Well, I thought that you and that fella in there, you always...
Oh, don't be silly. Never did like big fellas.
Then you mean that you would... That is, you could... Oh, you make me so glad.
Oh.